So, competition winner.
Competition winner.
Dun, 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 dun.
Here we
Use
go.
that.
Hello, welcome to the UK Surf Show. We are your hosts. I'm Leighton.
And I'm Pete, and we're mixing it up this week.
Yeah, mix it up. That would just mess you all up, wouldn't it?
This feels really weird doing it this way. I don't like it.
Do you want me to take over on this bit?
Yeah. So on this week's show, we talk about night surfing. I went night surfing with a night surfer.
Amazing. Wish I could have made it.
That
Gutted
was
I didn't.
incredible. And we also talk about Leighton walked the coast path. Not the whole thing, because that would be insane.
But
But
I wish I did.
yeah, I think he's now walked from...
Well, I got one more little section to make. So Newquay to St Ives, and then in total I would have walked from Minehead to Lizard Point, and then there are a few bits on the south coast that I've
So
picked up.
you should now have full knowledge of every single bay.
Well, so there are some. So basically, if the surf is good, then you're going to find the bays. But generally, I don't walk it when the surf is good because
Yeah,
you go
you're surfing.
surfing. But how are you meant to find those bays unless the surf is good? So
Yeah.
I did find a few.
Yeah.
We're
We're not going to name
No,
them.
I'm not going to name them because I feel like, seeing I've walked it, I feel like I've earned the right to go and surf it now
definitely.
because I haven't, found it out from somebody else. I've literally found it myself.
Yeah.
And there are a few which we can try out and not talk about.
Try out, not talk about it, get filled in when we
Yeah.
get there by
But
locals.
I now know that when certain places are firing, what makes those bays. You know, if I know that like that bay on Magic Seaweed is going off, then I now know that the bays that I found are also going
and
off
that's
as well.
this has been something that he's been doing over how many years now?
I don't know. I don't know, like 8 years or something.
Yeah,
just
walking
odd
bits of the
weekend
coast.
here and there. Yeah,
So, like I think we've spoken to people before, and I think it was Dylan from the Onion Mag was saying, if you've walked those places and you've gone and looked for them, you've earned the right to surf them.
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Tell us what you think about that. Do you think that is the fact, or do you
Yeah, is it just reserved for locals? So these places were quiet.
Yeah.
They were really quiet. And
And
there was
you-
one place. It was looked pretty good. Like it wasn't as good as like the more popular bays around it, but it's a compromise between having it all to yourself. He had it all to himself.
See, so there was a guy surfing out there all
Yeah.
by himself. See, after night surfing, and it was just me and Lloyd out there,
Mm-hmm.
I would pick that over anything now, I think.
Yeah, just having compromise on the surf, have it to yourself,
Yeah, definitely.
rather than go to better surf in a like busy place.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what part of the path did you walk this time?
I walked from Boscastle to Newquay, so it's 51 miles in total.
And how many days did you do it on?
3 days, so it was going for it, but it actually works out as 59 miles actually walking, because when you get to towns, you then walk around towns to get supplies and stuff. So in total, carrying a backpack for 3 days over 59 miles, that was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. You'd never go that fast normally, but
And he didn't think to invite me with him this time.
I actually did ask if you wanted to come.
Oh, I probably said no because I don't want to walk. I'd drive it.
Well, I got to Newquay and waves were great. Too knackered.
Yeah.
Couldn't surf. But the waves were really good.
Yeah. And you went with Spoons? Who's
Yeah,
been on the podcast?
Yeah, went with Spoons, yeah. His first ever walking trip with a full pack, so that was good. He smashed it. He did great. Loved it. Wants to go again as soon as he can walk again.
he sent me a message. I said, how did it go? I'm broken.
But yeah, it was a good trip. Good trip.
Yeah.
So your adventure was with Night Surfer, who was on episode 6. Was that right?
Yeah, something like that. Episode 6.
Yeah. So Lloyd.
So yeah, we keep in contact with people.
Yeah.
After we've spoken to them, and
If they like it or not.
yeah, literally after you've been on the podcast, I turn up at your house on your doorstep.
Right, mate. Stick a kettle on.
Yeah, it was. I was absolutely bricking it, and if you go over to Lloyd's YouTube channel, he's put a video up. There's night surfing videos on there. It'll probably be on there by the time this one comes out.
His Instagram account is Night Surfer UK, at Night Surfer UK.
Yeah, at Night Surfer UK. He's on there, and he was kind enough to take us along. You can see in the video how terrified I was before we went in.
I seen him post something on his stories, and I could tell you're scared because we didn't really talk much.
Yeah.
And half the time we can't shut you up.
The thing is, I know when I get nervous, I swear a lot. I swear a lot anyway.
Yeah.
The amount of swearing that
we edit out, or you edit out.
Yeah. He said something, and I said something to him on it when we were talking, and he was doing a video, and I was like, mate, you can't put that in. That's even like, there's some words on here we said we don't mind swearing, but there's some words we won't put out because some people don't like them.
No,
I didn't say that, but I said something just
everyone knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, everyone knows the word I'm talking about. But I did say something so stupid. It's something that it was just nervous babble, basically.
Yeah.
It was just that sort of thing. But yeah, so we had a little chat before we went in, talked about the equipment, talked about what we were going to do, and so I'll play that in now, and then we'll come back. Right, so we are in Saunton on the 14th of September. It is 8:48, and I am here with Lloyd, aka Night Surfer UK, and we are about to go in to the sea in the dark.
It's go time. Are you ready for this?
I am absolutely bricking it.
Yep. Yeah, I'm pretty much guarantee everyone will feel like that the first time.
Yeah. You did say to me you get the same sort of feeling. You still get those feelings every single time, though.
Yeah, no, it's true. When you realise you're kitting up and everyone's left the car park. Yeah, it gets you going, boy. It gets you going.
Yeah. So, what are the conditions like then?
Well, I think it's actually quite a good first time because it is pretty small out there. Looking at 2 foot gentle peelers. There's not too much wind. It could be a slightly better tide state. It's just coming up from low, but yeah, we're going to have fun. Don't worry about that.
All right, and then talk me through the kit then.
Yeah, so the Night Surf kit. Obviously, we've got a massive torch that we're going to strap to your noggin, and then we've got a battery pack that's going to go between your shoulder blades, that's going to power the thing for an hour and a half, minimum, if you have it a full whack. So apart from that, we've got a water sports helmet, got your longboard, ideal for Saunton.
Yeah. My longboard weighs a ton as it is, so with that, with the extra weight, do you reckon I'm going to notice a difference, or?
Yeah. Sorry to tell you, you're going to notice a difference.
It's not just that, and it was the story you were telling a minute ago of, oh yeah, things swim into me all the time. I'm not keen at all. I don't know how I feel at the moment. I'll come back when we get out, and I'll let you know how I feel.
Right, so how did you find it?
I found it absolutely incredible.
So he was nice enough to lend you a spare lamp, wasn't he?
Yeah, because they're not cheap.
No.
Neither was the helmet. So he gave me a helmet, battery pack, and lamp.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, took my own board. It was before we went out. I was absolutely terrified. I thought, "Oh my god, we're going to be surfing at night. I'm not going to be able to see anything." And I don't know what was going through my head. I was shitting it. Literally, I was so scared. As soon as we put the stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
And I started walking towards the sea, all of that disappeared straight away.
Maybe you just went into surfing mode.
Yeah, I think I did.
What about the backpack? How did it feel surfing with weight on your back?
Horrible.
Obviously, we've never done that before.
Horrible. Yeah. It was so much harder. It was like the whole experience was completely different. So you've got a weight on your back. Since we last did a podcast and we last went surfing, last few times we've been surfing, I noticed my paddle fitness hasn't been as good as it has been in the past. So I've been working on that quite a lot, doing the thingy bands, whatever they're called.
Yeah, resistant bands.
Yeah, resistance bands, and doing a lot of that.
So you've been doing it daily as well?
Yeah, daily. Probably 1 or 2 days off a week.
Right. Yeah.
But more or less every day, just between 10, 15 minutes, something like that.
So there's no excuse if it's only 10 minutes long.
No, it's literally a few different exercises and breathing while you're doing it.
Yeah.
I've started to do it, and as I'm doing it, nose breathing as well while I'm doing it. And I noticed a massive difference with that battery pack on as well.
So how was it different? Like to normal surfing, did you need that paddle fitness more to surf at night?
Yes, you need a lot more. That battery pack's a bit irritating where as you put your helmet, but as you get to lean back, sorry, I'm trying not to get away from the mic, I'm trying to move as I do it. As you lean back, you lift your head up, it hits the battery pack, so you're so you're paddling more sort of like beginner face down sort of paddling. Yeah. But you're looking out with this light. So it's a 7,000 lumen light, so it's bright and it's spread. You can either have it directional or spread the light as well. But you still can't. You can see, but you still can't see as much as you think you could.
Right.
So you can see out, and you're like, "Is that a wave? Is it? No. Yeah. Oh, no. So you're literally sort of half on the side, and the point where you can see it, it is like spin paddle.
So that's what you need the paddle fitness for.
So your late takeoffs really every single time on it, because you've got to paddle hard and fast, right, really quickly into it, and then you pop up. And as you pop up, obviously the waves like go in and there's spray and everything, but all those little water particles that are in the air, which you don't normally pay attention to, because the light's so bright, it lights them up as well.
Just like a fog.
So yeah, it's a bit like a fog. So you can sort of see, but you sort of can't. So you have to then sort of surf more by feel than by. It's really weird. You're not seeing, you're not using your vision. You're using your other senses.
And you normally look to the direction you want to go.
Yeah, but you can't see that far, so you're looking sort of maybe a couple of foot in front of, well, as far as I can remember, it's like a couple of foot in front of the board. But we got, the guy from Surfing Devon came down and took some photos.
Yeah,
and,
I've seen those. They're on our Instagram now.
Yeah. We got the first wave out, me and Lloyd caught together, right? It was like side by side. And, he's like, yeah, I was like, whoa. It was great. And then a few others, he caught a wave, I caught a wave. He caught loads more waves than me, to be fair, because he does it a lot.
Yeah.
He did say to me I'd done really well to even get up the first time out there, because it's so different.
Yeah, you mentioned it was like learning again, didn't you?
Yeah, it is like learning to surf again, because everything's different. It's the same, but everything's different. I found that at night I was standing too far forward on my board. So I kept like digging the nose in, and going over the front and stuff like that. But yeah, as I say, Surfing Devon got some wicked photos.
What time of night did you go out?
9:30.
Oh right, okay, not too bad. Then.
It got dark about 8 o'clock, and I think 9:30. But there was no moon either. There was like a tiny little bit of a.
So it was proper dark.
It was like nighttime dark.
So how long were you out there for?
I think we were probably out there for hour and a half, maybe something like that.
Oh, right, that's a good session. So you came in at like 11.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, it might have been hour and a half. I don't know how long we were out there, but I didn't really time it. I know what time I got home. I got home about 2 o'clock. So,
God.
Yeah, and all the roads were closed, and I had to go through the country. Oh, my life is so difficult. Yeah, but so. Was a good couple of hours back. So
did you get the same buzz from surfing at night as you do in the day?
So we're recording this a couple of days after, and I'm still buzzing from it.
Yeah,
I still got a buzz from it, which is more than I get from normal. If you went to me tomorrow, do you want to go surfing in daytime tomorrow or night surfing? I'd go night surfing every single time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even
though you get home at 2 o'clock in the morning.
I don't care about that. It's so good. I mean, if I play this bit in, this is me and Lloyd talking when we came out, so you can hear what it was like what the difference was when I came out of the water.
Right, okay.
So we've just got in from night surfing, and that was pretty epic, actually. I had a great time, Lloyd.
Yeah, well, me too, mate. It was incredible. And it was just really fun to see how stoked you were.
Yeah. It was first wave. We caught the first wave together, and that was a good start to it. It wasn't massive. It was a nice size to start with. It's a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be, and it's just different. It wasn't scary. It wasn't scary. I thought it was going to be scary. It wasn't scary. It was very peaceful. It was very it was just nice. And there's no one out there, so it was bloody brilliant. It was just you and me.
Yeah, it was. It was nice to just share the waves, just us. You're not thinking about other people, just like thinking, oh, what's going to be around the corner. But even after, like, you kind of joke around, it's going to be scary. But actually, when you're out there with two of you, it is just really relaxing. I mean, the waves helped us.
Yeah.
They helped it be relaxing because, if it was hammering in like 15 seconds, we would have been a bit brown panted.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was really good. The whole experience, the way everything about it was just better than I thought. I can't believe, come out really smiling. Like, it was a totally different experience, much harder than I thought it was going to be. That battery pack and that helmet make it very difficult indeed. Your movement's restricted, but you have to feel more the waves. You have to feel what you're doing. You have to, I don't know, you have to rely more on the way it feels than what you can see, because you can only see a limited. Like when you're surfing in the day, you can look down the line. You look down the line, you can't see anything.
Yeah, because you just have the kind of the light lights up the droplets in your face.
Yeah.
So really, you've got to rely on it. Is just relying on feel, and that's why it makes you a better surfer in the day. Because when you're feeling things, you just become a more instinctive surfer, and when you get into situations in the day which are a bit different, you'll be better equipped to have a better surf. But I really enjoyed being out with you, Pete, and it was a pleasure to have you.
Yeah.
I just had a bloody good time.
Yeah, it was great. Well, it is now, I can't see what the time is. It is now something like 11:30 at night. And I've got an hour and a half drive home, and you've got
I've got a 3-hour drive home. I hope I make it home without getting too tired. Might have to have a little power nap on the way.
Crash on the way home from the high. But it's been brilliant. So I look forward to do it again.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too, mate.
Cheers.
You can really tell the difference in your
before
your
and
mood,
afterwards. Yeah, it was. It's definitely something I'd recommend. There's a few things that I think the light. I think it's bright. It's so bright, but I don't think it needs to be that bright. I think you could probably do it with half the power.
Really? So you think it's too bright?
Yeah, it's really good. But then I surfed on one day. Like Lloyd might completely disagree and go, I've been out on these days and it's perfect.
Well, cause I asked Lloyd the same question, but what does it feel like when you've got that weight on your head and you either come off, or when you're paddling out and you like do your turtle roll or whatever? Like, what did you notice a difference? Is it heavy or?
When I noticed the difference when a wave hits you in the face, it nearly separates your head from your body. That's one thing. When you come off and you go under the water, the whole thing's bright under it lights the whole ocean up underneath the ocean because the thing's so bright. And it's like, if you close your eyes and look at the sun, you can still see that light through it.
Yeah.
It's like that under the water.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's like, that's weird. When you're actually surfing with it, you don't really notice the weight. When you get up and you go in, you don't notice the weight. You don't notice anything like that. Right. You notice it every now and then. I'll tell you one bit was the worst bit. Lloyd caught, because you get quite disorientated out there, even though you've got a light on your head. Yeah. I thought I was paddling out straight, and I was paddling sort of off to the side a bit because the waves were then coming in on a different angle, and I was like, what's going on here? And I had to recorrect myself.
Yeah, like in the daytime, you use the land as your point of reference, so you could get sucked over to one side and not know it.
Well, we had to, because we were at Saunton, we had to pay attention on the rocks, like how far away from the rocks we were, because that's where we went out. and I was looking, and we did drift towards him one point, and I was like, move away. And then I think this point, the bit that scared me, the only bit I got like a bit like, ooh, what's that? Is that Lloyd caught a wave, and then I was left sat out there on my own. And I think I drifted towards the rocks a bit because I think either a wave broke over a rock, but it sounded to me, after he'd already gone on about seals and stuff like that, it sounded like a seal popped up and kept down. And I was like, feet straight up, paddling a bit, catch the next wave.
Well, he goes out totally alone.
Yeah, no. So
that really
bad.
takes some balls.
Yeah, no.
Newfound respect for him then.
Yeah, going out there with on two of you, brilliant. Great fun, everything. Being out there on your own, fuck that. No way.
So he's a certified nutcase then.
Yeah, real nice guy though.
Yeah.
We had a lovely,
they always are.
Nicest guy you ever want to meet. No, we had a nice romantic meal first of all. As the sun was setting, we were in the whatever it's called, the Ocean Grill or whatever the place is called. I had a lovely jackfruit burger with fries, and he had a chili dog which burnt his mouth, and it was a nice time. And then
it does sound romantic.
It was until I think it was the buttering me up before it got nasty,
leading you into a false sense of security.
Yeah. So, competition winner.
Competition winner.
Dun, 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 dun.
Here we
go. It's copyright, I don't know.
What? Oh, what, the 20th Century Fox music?
Oh, is that it?
I think so, yeah.
No, that's...
Sidetracked. Okay, let's do all of them and see if we get copyrighted. Sorry.
Surely someone can't copyright you for doing.
Yeah, anyway.
Oh, yeah. Competition winner.
Yes, we have a competition winner.
Yeah, we had stories. I kind of feel bad for how many people we sent us stories, and we can't give stuff to everybody.
Yeah, but there's so many.
Actually, you should all just think yourself lucky that Leighton's not keeping them.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had stories about people who've moved their whole life.
Yeah.
People who've blown out their eardrums.
Yeah.
People
boards
who've
being trashed,
smashed,
gashed. First waves.
Yeah. First wave ever caught. And we've gone with something that I didn't think we were going to go with. It's not. I thought we'd pick something funny.
No, we didn't. It's a very serious one, and it's quite a long one as well. So we decided that in kind of celebration of it all, we were going to film this part of the podcast.
Yeah.
So those of you who are listening or watching on YouTube,
hey,
this is what we look like.
Sorry.
How's it going?
So yeah, story's long, story's really good, story's really moving.
Yeah.
And it tackles some very serious issues which need addressing more.
Yeah.
So
do you want to say who the winner is? Because we haven't done that bit yet.
Oh yeah. The winner is George Crook.
Yes, well done, mate.
Well done.
Well done, brilliant
Absolutely
story.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
As I said, I thought there was another winner, 50% of the way through this. It came in midway, this story.
Yeah.
And then this one came in within the last sort of 5 days. And yeah.
Yeah. It's a really moving story. So
yeah.
I will read it out for you now. Okay. I first went surfing when I was 11 years old. I was immediately hooked and continued to thrive off it for about a decade. I'm not a great surfer, and I wouldn't even call myself average. Kook might be a better title, but I loved it nonetheless. Unfortunately, a few years ago, I found myself struggling to enjoy life and was eventually diagnosed with depression. I wouldn't I won't dive into the deep stuff, but basically life became too serious about jobs and bills and interest rates. I was constantly tired and didn't want to do anything. I didn't even have the motivation or enthusiasm to enjoy surfing. My friends would drag me out of the house and tell me I'd feel better afterwards. But it always ended up with me coming in cold, wet and miserable, when I'd normally be the first in and the last out. I would normally try to go surfing about once a month, but this mental flat period stopped me from heading to the beach for about 7 months. Summer was around the corner, and my friends wanted to go to get a festival booked in. We're all quite beachy people, so it was quite an easy decision to choose Ocean Fest in Croyd, Devon. They were all excited about chilling on the beach, surfing all day and enjoying music. At this point, I was still uneasy about the idea of going for a surf, but I thought it could be fun to get drunk all weekend. Before we left for the weekend, my friend Mark double-checked I had packed my suit and board, knowing that I was trying to stay out of the water. I threw them in the car just to keep him happy, but I still wasn't feeling up for it. We headed off to what would hopefully be an enjoyable trip. On our first night there, it was good. We got pretty merry and it didn't rain, which was ace. We boogied all night and it felt like 30 minutes of partying, all to wake up with a sore head and the same feeling of nothingness like the day before. Great. My mates and I headed down to the beach. They thought a quick dip, maybe a surf, would sort out the hangover and we could enjoy the rest of the day. Luckily for me, the surf wasn't that inviting. All my friends headed in for their remedies, but I chose to stay on the beach. Because I hadn't been in the ocean for 7 months, I had a pretty bad anxiety, not just about the water, but also about other surfers and what they would think of me. My style, body composition, board, wetsuit, everything in my head was negative. We headed back to the camp in the afternoon, listening to my friends talk about surf and how stoked they were at the session they just had. It was like torture, like a headache that wouldn't go away. Before we got ready to go out that night, Mark sat down and to see how I was doing. He knew about my issues, but I've always been hesitant to talk about them, being a bloke. He told me it was all right to be vulnerable and that he'd struggled himself with similar issues. I could see what he was trying to do. I'd had the speech before from teachers, parents, other friends, so I was dismissive and quickly tried to end the conversation. He then told me how much I've helped him with his problems, and it silenced me straight away. I'd never even known he had any of these problems, let alone tried to help them deal with them. He said that being able to go surfing with a friend all these years had helped him to release all the worry and fear about the future. Being able to sit in the lineup, waiting for the set, talking about nothing and having a laugh allowed him to forget about anything that was going on elsewhere, and he could enjoy the moment. He told me to try and overcome my depression and anxiety by going surfing with him again and forgetting about everything else. I was really taken back, and I could see, and he could see it. He made things sound so simple when before they'd seemed so complicated. He gave me a quick hug, and we went off to the bar to enjoy the second night out. I woke up in the morning, the same as before, a banging headache. Only this time there was a small spark of optimism within me. I nervously asked Marky if he wanted to head down to the beach to check the conditions. This lit him up with excitement. Arriving at Saunton to avoid the crowds, we saw some awesome surf. 2 to 3 foot and offshore winds. It couldn't have been more inviting. We suited up and headed down to the shore. I was still nervous, but I could see how happy it made him, which in turn made me happy. I started to paddle. Everything began to re-engage. I felt properly awake for the first time in a long time. The next set began to roll in. So I started to prepare myself. I was ready to catch an awesome ride. I spun towards the shore and paddled hard. I felt the wave lift me, and it was time to snap. I was so excited, and then I wiped out. For fuck's sake. I was going to say bleep then, but I thought, no, I'll do it how he said it. For fuck's sake. I said it twice.
He never swears because his mum listens.
Yeah. So, to my surprise, I came up from the water with a smile on my face and didn't care that I failed. It's having fun, and nothing else on my mind. No worries about money, pain in my body, no demons torturing me, and finally I felt my mojo coming back. I did manage to catch a couple of waves that session, a couple of party waves with Marky too. Nothing special to look at, but they felt incredible, and it was the best surf ever so far. Since then, I've fallen in love with surfing again. It's worked better than any therapy drug I've ever tried, and I won't be giving it up again. Thanks for the opportunity to share my story. I think mental health awareness has come a long way, but it's still great to have an open and upfront talk about it. Thanks for what you're doing, guys. You know, that's just amazing, isn't it? You know, that surfing can do powerful stuff like that.
When I read that story, I read it and I just sat there with the phone in my hand for like, I think about 5 minutes afterwards, just staring at the screen and just not knowing. I don't know. It's first of all, cheers, dog. It's Bodie, by the way.
Yeah, this is Boda Safa.
I wonder who named him that. Anyway, that story was just amazing, and it is something that needs to be spoken about more, and it's something we're going to speak about more on this show very soon. His friend Mark needs a big shout out as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, it's nice to see guys supporting each other like that, and like we said, and like George said in that story as well. You know, like there is a lot out there now talking about mental health, but it's still, the conversation still needs to go on. Like, we just can't forget about it. And you know, if you're feeling like that and you feel like you're stuck in a rut, and I know it's difficult, but if you can pull yourself out of it and just try surfing maybe, or whatever it is that you used to find joy in, like the joy is still there. You're just in the wrong frame of mind at the moment. So, you know, what an amazing thing for surfing to do. Like, it's just...
Yeah. I think that's the thing we try and, like, I've suffered from anxiety myself, and I think that thing that I've said before about that paddling out and everything disappearing, it's a very Zen-like feeling. It's very, I don't know, it's just...
Yeah, and it sounds like what really helped George was the fact that his friend was going through it at some point as well, and then they enjoyed that surf together, so...
Yeah. And if you can bring any of that calm you feel in the ocean back into your life, that's, you know,
so
that's amazing. So,
we're really pleased things are getting better for you, mate. Well done for winning competition. Loads and loads of prizes on the way to you. We will get in contact on email and get your address and stuff. And please, please, please take a picture of all the stuff when you get it. Obviously, you can't wear 4 T-shirts at the same time, but...
yeah. Just to prove to everyone that he did not keep them.
Yeah, really, really want them.
Yeah. Also, on a side note, our limited edition East London Press UK Surf Show T-shirts are available for order if you go to our Instagram site and go on the link in the bio, and it will take you to East London Press. You can order one. There is only a limited run on these, so once they are gone, they are gone. If you didn't get one, you'll be sad forever.
And if you are watching on YouTube, this is what they look like. Model it. So if you want one, go and grab one. Like we said, we're not going to do them forever. It'd just be a short run. And if you went on and bought them, it's like great support for us. So anyway, massive competition done.
I can relax.
Feels like an end of an era.
Yeah, it's been really hard work for you putting all this competition together, hasn't it?
It really has. Yeah, I'm glad it's done. Oh, hang on a minute, you did it all.
Yeah, great. Anyway, see you later.
Cheers.
Don't like filming.